What's up, people of the world? It's me again, Alex Swimmer, aka AP3 Jumped, and today I'm reviewing the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic episode for season 9 entitled "The Last Crusade." Now, this is actually the second episode in the series to reference Indiana Jones, in with its title. The first time they did that was for the first Indiana Jones movie, but instead of being called Raiders of the Lost Ark, they called it Crusaders of the Lost Mark, or the Last Mark. However, I don't remember the exact wording at the end. But both of these episodes center around the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and unlike the first episode I mentioned, this episode is in direct reference to the original movie's title. As a matter of fact, it's the exact same subtitle. It's a very fitting title, too, because this is the last episode for the Cutie Mark Crusaders story arc. And I gotta say, I know it's been a hell of a journey. Seeing all these characters grow. I remember like it was just yesterday, seeing Apple Bloom, Scootaloo, and Sweetie Belle all meeting each other for the first time. And I think it was at Sugar Cube Corner where they first met. And from then on, they decided to form the Cutie Mark Crusaders, and for years they were trying everything and anything to get their cutie mark, and there have been lots of episodes about that. But through their trials and tribulations, by midway through season 5, they finally got their cutie marks, and that was that. I believe it was Crusaders of the Lost Mark. That was when they got their cutie marks in the first place. And however, I think this episode it's a little bit more about Scootaloo's perspective. She's a little bit more of the main focus, because after all this time, we finally see Scootaloo's parents, and the explanation as to why they haven't been in the series, why they haven't showed up until now, was because Scootaloo's parents are actually, wildlife explorers. They find all these exotic creatures, and that's pretty much their occupation. So they only get to see Scootaloo like once every couple months. And after years of speculation of where their parents were, like where they were, who they were, and this, that, and the other, it's great to finally see them on screen, especially in the last season. And yeah, I really like Scootaloo's parents. I forget their names exactly, but they just have really fun personalities. One of them is Australian, which is freaking awesome. And has an Australian accent, I should say. And so that really draws to the main focal point of the plot, which I'll get to in just a second. Now, the main conflict of this episode is Scootaloo's parents. They come back because they want Scootaloo to move away with them because they have a new job opportunity. And Scootaloo isn't really having any of that because she wasn't informed about it, and she reminded her parents at one point, a little later on in the episode, that they didn't even consider her feelings first before they asked, which I'm glad she said that, because this is a very, relatable situation, because I've seen this represented a lot in fictional media, but this happens a lot to kids in real life all the time, and to adults as well. So here we have yet another relatable situation in an episode. And I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen. I wasn't sure if Scootaloo, I don't know if she was going to move away with him. Ultimately, I don't know if she was going to convince her parents to stay there in Ponyville, or I wasn't sure if, because Scootaloo and her friends wanted to, all be together, so the CMC wouldn't have to split up whatsoever. So I wasn't sure exactly what the outcome is. There was like one of 3 possible solutions. Turns out the third solution was the actual solution, and that solution was for all of the CMC to stay in Ponyville, and Scootaloo's parents, they go back to doing their job. They go back to exploring these uncharted lands for undiscovered creatures and whatnot. Because they are actually the only Scootaloo's parents are the only ponies who can do what they do, and that's how they contribute to Equestria, and that gets the CMC thinking. Well, why not? What if we made Scootaloo's parents realize that, and that the CMC, what they do is, because if you guys don't remember, ever since the CMC got all their cutie marks, what they've been doing since then. I just said the same thing twice. Sorry. If it seems that I'm a little bit distracted, I apologize. What the CMC does is help other ponies and any other creatures with their problems, whether they're trying to get a cutie mark or not. Perfect example of this was Gabby Griffin back in season 5 or 6, I think, and they're actually able to convince Scootaloo's parents that the Applejack, Scootaloo, and Sweetie are the only ponies in Equestria who can do what they do, just like their parents. And what's really cool in that final sequence was that every character that the CMC has helped throughout the whole series they all appeared in that scene. Every single last one of the characters who the CMC helped out, and some of them were more or less background characters, so you had to sort of pay attention to look out for them. I was glad to see some of my old favorite characters return, even if they didn't have any speaking lines, like Gabby Griffin and the full-grown horse from I can't remember what episode that was, but he was notable for being the only absolute full-grown horse and model pony like throughout history, I think. And most definitely, he was the only one in Generation 4. So that was really awesome, because they showed some characters who I forgot about, like the orange pony, whose name I think was Tender Taps or something like that. Yeah, I forgot all about him. But yeah, they showed him. They showed the Gabby Griffin and the full-grown horse. Like I said, Terramar appeared once again. And they also even showed Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon, Big Mac, and I think her name was Clarabelle. Yeah. So that was definitely the most perfect way. That was a great little last hurrah for that episode and the CMC story arc. And yeah, I'm sort of jumping around a little bit. Well, long story short, Scootaloo's parents are convinced that Scootaloo, along with her friends, once all three of them are together, they have this purpose in life to help out other ponies and other creatures who they just need their help with certain situations. And this, like I said, CMC is the only group of ponies in Equestria who can help creatures out with this sort of stuff. And that's honestly a really sweet scene at the end, because it's just a really sweet and somber episode overall. There was absolutely so much to like about this. I liked almost absolutely everything about the whole episode. There wasn't a lot of laughs in it, but there didn't really. It's just one of those episodes where there didn't need to be a whole lot of comedy, because I feel like this wasn't the type of story to have something like that be a consistent part of the episode. So I think overall this was a great conclusion to the CMC story arc, and I'm sure we'll see each of the three CMC individually throughout the rest of the series. Like we might get a one final episode with Sweetie Belle and Rarity, and maybe even one final episode with Scootaloo and Rainbow Dash. But as for the CMC as a whole, I think this might be the last CMC centered episode in the series, and that's not to say that they, like I said, isn't to say that they won't appear again at the end. They might appear at the series finale. As a matter of fact, I think every major character is going to appear in the series finale, much like the begin, much like the season 9 premiere. Hell, it'll be very similar to the most recent Marvel movies. Honestly, everyone is here. That's that's a very important catchphrase in fictional media these days. It's it's important. It was synonymous with Marvel. It was synonymous with Super Smash Brothers, and I'm sure it will most definitely be a major part of Friendship is Magic's series finale. I can guarantee it. But yeah, I absolutely loved this episode. It was damn near perfect. Like there's nothing I didn't like. There's not a single thing I disliked about it. It was just the only thing I have anything to dislike about is that one of my favorite shows is ending this year, and we're already halfway through. We're already halfway through the final season, and I'm not gonna lie. I'm already sad that the show's ending, but I'm gonna be even sadder by the time it ends. And yes, because at that point, both of my favorite shows, this along with The Big Bang Theory, two of my favorite shows since I've loved since high school, will have both ended this year. Big Bang Theory already ended. Now, it's all that's My Little Pony is set to end as well. So, yeah, this episode was nothing short of fantastic. It's really sweet and very somber, and I highly recommend it. And on a side note, I'm glad I finally got to wear one of these again. I only have 3 My Little Pony shirts, but I wish I had more. Oh well. Yeah, I wish I had more episodes too. But anyway, if you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe and be sure to stay tuned for more episode reviews. I have Loud House and My Little Pony episodes still on the way. I have a lot of Loud House episode reviews on the way. A whole lot. And I'm backed up on those now. Oh well. Doesn't matter as long as I get them all done. And if you liked the episode, then let me know what you thought of it in the comments below. And people, yeah, I'm sorry if you heard indistinct noises. I mean, that's what it's like living in an apartment. You hear noises from downstairs and in the walls and outside, and people coughing or doing this, that, and the other. I can't control that, so I'm sorry. Yeah, just like how I can't control the fact that My Little Pony is ending this year, so I am very anxious to see how it's going to end exactly. Because like I said, we're already halfway through the final season. So, anyway, I am Alex Swimmer, aka AP3 Jumped. Thank you so much for watching until the end. That is it for me, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.